Okay, so this video is going to be on page M317, and we are going to do a couple of examples. So you can pause this and try on page M317, number 2, where you're evaluating or solving each expression. Remember, we're following the order of operations. Okay, so pause if you want to try it. Okay, now if you've done this on your own, you can check yourself. So I'm going to look for parentheses, then exponents, those little baby numbers. So I see parentheses right here. So I'm going to do the math inside the parentheses. And the example in my first video talked about rewriting or bringing down everything that you are not doing. Okay, right now all I'm doing is 25 divided by 5 because that is in parentheses. And I know that 25 divided by 5 is 5, and then I want to keep the power. So I have completed step 1. Step 2 is exponents. So once again, I'm going back to my problem and I'm seeing this exponent right here. So I'm going to copy down what I'm not having to work with so that I don't forget about it. And then I'm going to evaluate or solve 5 squared. Now remember, 5 squared is the same thing as 5 times 5, which is 25. So I have completed step 2 of my PEMDAS. Remember, the next one would be multiply and divide, left to right, whichever comes first. I don't see any multiplication, so I'm skipping those. My last 2 steps are, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, addition and subtraction. That's also left to right. And I can see that my last mathematical operation is addition, and so I can quickly add 12 and 25 and get 37, and that should be your answer. Let's go ahead and move on to one more example. Now, if you want to try this on your own, pause the video. Parentheses, exponents, multiplication and division, addition and subtraction. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start working to solve this. I see parentheses right here, so I'm going to do this math first. Okay, times 2. I'm not worried about that right now, but I'm going to write it down so I don't forget to do it later. Now, inside the parentheses, I have to kind of go through my PEMDAS and see what I should do first. Okay, and my second item in PEMDAS is exponents. So I can see that I have actually an exponent to worry about here. I have 12 squared. Now we have to understand that that's 12 times 12. And if you know those math facts, that's going to be 144. Okay. I need to scoot that over a little bit here. 144. Then I have to subtract 48. Don't forget about those parentheses because I still need to concentrate on doing that math first. I'm still working inside the parentheses. So I need to take 144 minus 48. And I get 96. Okay, so now I can forget about the parentheses because I've done all the math in the parentheses. I don't want to forget this last part of the problem. Okay, so I've done parentheses. There's no more exponents. I did have to take care of exponents inside the parentheses. Now I can look at multiplication and division left to right. So I'm starting the left and I'm going right. And I see all I have left to do is multiply. So I'm going to take 96 times 2. 6 times 2 is 12, carry the 1. 2 times 9 is 18, plus my 1. Oops, Mrs. Canupp said to add 1, but I didn't. 9 times 2 is 18, plus 1 is 19. So your final answer should be 192. I'm going to do one more example for you. Remember, you can pause this at any time. So I'm writing my items to checklist, okay? First is parentheses. Whoops, that didn't work out too well. Parentheses. Do I have any parentheses? I do not. So I can just check that off my list and keep going. Exponents. Do I have any baby numbers, as I call them? And I see 2 of those right here. So I'm going to start rewriting and just copying down the math I don't need to worry about right now. I'm not dividing. I'm just doing 2 to the 3rd power. That's 2 times 2 times 2. Now this is where some of you mess up. 2 times 2 is 4. Times 2 again is 8. 3 cubed is 3 times 3 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9 times the other 3 equals 27. Checking off exponents. Then I'm looking at multiplication and division, left to right, just like you're reading a book. Okay, so I'm starting here and moving this way. I see 168 divided by 8, so that's the first math I'm going to do. Okay, I'm not worried about addition, so I'm just going to copy it down. I'm not worried about subtraction yet, so I'm just going to copy it down. Checking that off my list. Next up, and last, addition to subtraction, left to right, remember. So I'm starting on the left-hand side, I'm moving to the right. So 21 plus 27 would be 48 minus 20, and that is going to be 28 as your final answer. Okay, there's more practice, so I will put you in a small group next up so that you can practice. This is still a level 2. Okay, I want you to understand we're still building foundational skills. At the end of the week, hopefully next week, we'll get into the level 3, but I want you to get really good at this so I can give you at least a C on this skill. Okay, good luck.